So we will get started. Today's presentation is a result of, we had a national conference at the beginning of June, and it was for ProTrain partners, non-ProTrain partners, corporations. And it was all about how can we learn better how to outreach and engage education to employment, whether you're a certifying body, whether you're a training organization, or you're a book vendor that you're trying to provide, information to partners that want to provide education to employment. So let's learn today how you can partner with ProTrain. We truly are about education to employment, and we're going to go over that because we're out there to try to help everyone. I'm going to cover some housekeeping issues to begin with, because we're all doing this Zoom thing and other methods, so we have to have housekeeping rules. If you signed up for our session today and you were not able to attend, don't worry, it's being recorded, and everyone will get a link to the recording, so you or your colleagues might want to look at it later, or say, oh my God, I saw this great recording by ProTrain, you need to look at it. So it'll be available to everyone. Attendees are automatically muted when joining, and the simple purpose of that is because we're all working from home now, most of us, and we don't want to hear cats and dogs in the background. So we're going to try to keep it under control, if you will. Use the Q&A box and the chat box in the lower portion of your screen. Your questions, your comments are valued and welcomed, and they will be addressed at the end of the presentation. So don't forget Q&A and chat in your lower part of your screen, and many of our presenters will remind you of that as well. We also, one of the things that we'll talk about is, social media and marketing and what you can do to help yourself. All of us are on, low cost, no cost budgets, but we can all post to social media. So help us out as a team here on this recording and go and post #ProTrain. And so any of your fellow colleagues that need to learn what you're learning about today, they can go and see that as well. And I do thank you in advance for doing that. What I want to know is, I want to get to know you. Who are you? Where are you from? What is your city and state? I'd like to just take a few seconds pause. If you all will find the chat button at the bottom of your screen, and if you'll just tell me where you're from, that will help, because we do help people all over the United States and some internationally. But I'd love for you to tell me where you're from. So Kevin, I'm going to take just a few seconds here, but sir, when you start to see the answers, if you will unmute and give me the answers to that, please.
Not a problem. We've got folks from Castilla, North Carolina, Marshalltown, Iowa, Eugene, Oregon, and Roswell, New Mexico so far.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it, because ProTrain's been virtual for 16 years, and we've been doing this and working with partners, like you or could be you, all these times, and we've been serving students. So I'm so excited. I thank you for joining. What we're going to talk about today is really simple. We're just going to do some introductions. Who are we? Who are those ProTrain people? Well, we're going to tell you. And how can we work with you in support of your mission? And I can tell you, I'm doing this with my hands, your mission and your vision. We're going to talk about our education to employment course offerings. They have multiple learning formats. And we're going to go over every single one of those: in classroom, online self-paced, live online instructor-led. We work with you and your student population to find out the best way that you can service your students at any time, not just during COVID time, anytime. What is our partner and student support about? What is that ProTrain continuing education turnkey solution? You'd be surprised at what it is, because it is pretty much an extension arm of what you do on a daily basis. We're going to talk about some marketing best practices. How can we help you? I know for a fact, based on my background, that a lot of CE departments, they have to beg, borrow, steal from the marketing department, and you don't have to with us. We provide it for you. What are our processes? What are the next steps? The next steps will depend upon what you think of our presentation today and what you would like to do moving forward. And again, I will remind you of Q&A. Always ask your questions. So this is just a subset of my team that I'm extremely proud of. This is some of our continuing experts, continuing education experts on ProTrain. And we're going to briefly, we're not going to bore you, we're briefly going to say where we come from. I come from an entire adulthood of education in some format or fashion. My last job before starting ProTrain in 2004 was I was the director of continuing education, specifically in the IT arena. I loved it. I love making a difference in people's lives, education to employment. So I made the conscious decision to start my own company to work with wonderful people like you to try to help you service your student population. And we are a true, fully functional continuing education department that's an extension arm of what you do with as little or as much as you need. Please make note, as little or as much. We're not trying to go in and tell anybody what to do. We're trying to help you. So with that, I will pass the virtual baton to Kevin to tell you a little bit about himself, and we'll just continue on until we introduce each other. Thank you.
Hello, folks. My name's Kevin Smith. I've been with Betty now as her Chief Operating Officer for just shy of 10 years. Prior to that, I spent 30 years in another institution called the Army. I'm a retired Army colonel of 30 years and 10 days, but who counts? And my background is logistics and a lot of training. My last job for the Army was I owned all the training development in the 3 logistics branches for the Army. And I love helping soldiers, family members, veterans, and those who are unemployed or unemployed use our training to get where they need to get on their next career pathway. Glad to be with you all today. I'm going to next introduce Kelly Ajmal, our Business Development Manager. Kelly.
Thank you, Kevin. Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here with you all today. I am the Business Development Manager here at ProTrain. I've been with the company for about 1.5 years now. However, I have worked in the continuing education workforce development industry for roughly the past 10 years. And what I do in my role is I work to bring on new partnerships, and I nurture those relationships by providing various growth strategies to help you sell our programs in your community. So again, I look forward to connecting with you, learning more about what your needs are. And with that, I will pass it over to Kirsten.
Thanks, Kelly. Hi, guys. I am Kirsten Guthrie. I'm the Training and Internship Manager here at ProTrain. I've been working with ProTrain for 4 years, which has been so exciting. It's practically family. And my previous years with community college system and prior IT companies. So I'll be working with you guys with your live online programs and in classroom when we get back to that point. But I look forward to meeting you guys and working with you guys in the future. And I'll pass it over to John.
Thank you, Kirsten. My name is John Hopkins. I'm the Director of Information Services for ProTrain. I've been with ProTrain for 7 years now, and I started my IT career at Augusta University before I moved to being the IT person at ProTrain. I'm responsible for the management of all of our company IT infrastructure, along with providing technical support for all of our partners and students. I also oversee our student services team. Our student services team is there to ensure that your students with us have an exceptional student experience. And we do that, and hopefully at the end, we are constantly increasing our student success rates. I look forward to working with everyone, and I'm going to pass that over to Stephanie Mason.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Mason, Director of Marketing. I've been with ProTrain a couple of years and in marketing for continuing education for over a decade. I support our partners with marketing resources for our courses. And with that, back to you, Betty.
I thank my team, and we have practiced this, just like I'm sure if you all are going to reach out and engage to your corporate clients or your students, we practice because we're all just human beings trying to make sure we can make things work. And I'm very proud of my team members on this call. So that was my shout out to you guys, so thank you. I want to explain just a little bit about ProTrain, and then we're going to get into what I call the meat and potatoes of exactly what we do. We are a North Carolina proprietary licensed school. You may say, well, if you're a school, why do you want to work with me? It's a very simple question and a very simple answer. I pride myself on our reputation, and I want to make sure that you all know, as current or potential partners, that we pride ourselves on our reputation and what we're expected to do. There are many third-party providers out there that are companies. I want to be a school because I want you to know that I'm going to take care of your student just as good as you would. I am vetted, I am audited, and we want you to know that you value your reputation, and we respect that. We're working with close to 200 universities, community colleges, and other entities, and we must take this reputation with the utmost respect. And I hope that means something to you all, because for this 100% woman-owned business, it means the world to me to be able to work with you and work with you as a partner, not as a vendor. Our continuing education turnkey solution, I feel, sets us apart and is unique in the fact that we offer 3 different learning modalities. Online self-paced. Some of our online self-paced does have a mentor to answer questions. We also offer, when available, and we all know what that means, in classroom. And we provide everything turnkey for that on your behalf. But we are very excited, and we'll go into it in another slide or so, our live online instructor-led synchronous training. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I can tell you, in ProTrain's vocabulary, failure's not an option. I don't want you to fail, and I promise you, I'm not going to fail. So if you want to work with someone that has that attitude, you've got the partner right now, because failure is not in my vocabulary. We are virtual. We prepare individuals for their future. We do not sell classes, we sell futures. I want to make sure that a person, their dreams, their aspirations, their background, and realistically what they can accomplish, that we help them achieve that. I am extremely proud that we were formed in 2004, but we filed for the BBB in 2007. We've had an A+ rating since then. And in 2016, we won the Better Business Bureau Marketplace for Ethics for the entire Eastern North Carolina, because that's where I'm from. So I'm very proud about that. I'm really picky on reputation. I will tell you, I'm proud that we are a military spouse employment partner, MSEP for short. That means we go out of our way to hire military spouses and allow them to keep employment, because military spouses are employed at a lower rate than most anybody. We did start with the My Career Advancement account in 2007, which was a beta program where we are participating in the military spouse account, where military spouses, if they are in the rules and regulations of the correct ranks, they are awarded, no strings attached, right now, $4,000. And we love helping our military families, spouses, veterans, wounded warriors. You may be wondering, well, okay, so you're ProTrain. Who do you partner with? So we put together a slide here that shows a representation of East Coast, West Coast, middle of the United States. As I said, we have about 200 partners. I couldn't put 200 logos on this. But if anyone on this webinar is thinking about partnering with ProTrain, we can provide you some testimonials. We can provide you with names, phone numbers, emails of people that you could actually reach out to say, are they the real deal? We are. And it means that much to me that I absolutely have no problem with people reaching out to our partners. You'll see in the lower right-hand corner as I'm circling that I said we are a military spouse employment partner. You cannot use that logo unless the Department of Defense has given you approval to do that. And we talked a little bit about learning formats. I'm going to pause on this for a bit so you can quickly peruse, but remember you're going to get this webinar. Our learning formats, the self-paced online, in classroom, and live online instructor-led. On purpose, I put a testimonial from a student on each one, and then from a client on each one. I will tell you personally, this student on self-paced, Wes, when I worked at the major university here in North Carolina, like 20 years ago, he was my student, and I helped him. And he came back to me as ProTrain and said, Miss Betty, I like taking classes from you because I know you'll take care of me. And so he came to me like 17, 20 years later and took a class through us. That made me feel proud. I like my students to remember who we are. That's what it's about, is relationships. Relationships with our students, relationships with you. Remember, I'm not your vendor. I want to be your partner. We've had Goodwill Industries tell us the same thing. We've had in classroom a medical person. We've had a person that was the vice president for Centera Healthcare that we've been working with for like 4 years, how we're helping their staff be able to get additional credentials, increased pay, and help them, because when you keep your employees, and we as continuing educators can work with these corporations to help them build these programs of study to help keep people so they're not losing employees and having to waste time, money, and extra training time. Our live instructor led, we've had students that absolutely love it. You know what they love about it? They don't have to pay for daycare. They don't have to pay for gas. They don't have to pay for dry cleaning. They are still live online with an instructor. They see them, the instructor sees them, they come to class on time, and class ends on time. There is no difference in classroom and in live online instructor led other than I'm not in the same room that you are. And we have a statement from Austin Peay State University that basically has said that live online learning has saved them during this COVID time. We'd like to do the same thing for you. I am now going to turn it over to my business development manager, Kelly Ajamal, because we're trying to be like the Brady Bunch, and we're trying to show you that we're real human beings and we're just like you all. So Kelly, with that, I'm going to turn my video off, and I look forward to hearing you talk.
All right, thank you so much, Betty. Well, this slide is really just to talk about trends and issues in continuing education. I do want to mention, and Betty did allude to the fact that the staff here at ProTrain have all been in the business of continuing education. So we are certainly familiar with the challenges as well as the opportunities that are part of working in this industry, I think it's important to certainly address our current times and understand that the pandemic has certainly changed the way we work and the way we educate. We know that to continue serving students, schools have transitioned to online learning as a necessity, but really online learning is not just our new normal. Online learning is the future of education. At ProTrain, we understand the needs of online learners, and we're constantly adapting to meet these needs. We've designed our online classrooms to foster engagement, community learning, and access to a live instructor. Additionally, we recognize the need for students to see the economic value of their investment by providing regional and national labor market data for occupations that our programs prepare for. As you may know, the U.S. Department of Labor has reported 44.2 million Americans who filed for unemployment as a result of COVID-19. At ProTrain, we are focused on getting people back to work in growing industries. We support our partners in serving this audience by helping them connect to their local job center. As a team, ProTrain has extensive experience in helping partners utilize our programs for WIOA funding. Considering our economic challenges, we believe now is the time for continuing and workforce development departments to provide and to prove their relevancy. Now is the time for breaking down silos and misconceptions about the role of non-credit. Continuing education and workforce development departments generate additional sources of revenue, and they support their community in obtaining or sustaining gainful employment. Now is the time for building relationships with academic departments and creating career pathways for the needs of today's workforce. Next slide. We are more than a content provider that simply fills in some training gaps. We strive to earn your business as a valued partner and act as an extension of your department, focused on helping you achieve your strategic mission. Working together as partners, we know we can do more. This slide is to illustrate the various levels of our support that you can expect to receive from us here at ProTrain. As your main point of contact, I will work with you to develop a partnership goal or partnership goals that align with the mission of your department. I will meet with your team regularly to manage the training, marketing, and operational needs of our partnership. We have the training department who handles the scheduling, the instructors, the exams, and materials for all three learning modalities. Our training department works directly with their schools when there's a need to create customized training. We have a team of training assessment managers. They are the ones responding to student inquiries. They are our subject matter experts for all programs. They inspire prospective students to act on their dreams. They engage the lead with open-ended questions that connect the lead to their need, and they remove barriers by counseling students on all available tuition assistance options. We have a student services department who offers enrollment, content, course content, and IT support for all enrolled students. They provide progress reports for students and partners, and at completion, they issue the certificate to the student and an exam voucher if it's applicable. Your school supports the success of our partnership through your reputation and the relationships in your community. We encourage connections with local workforce boards and businesses. Working together, we leverage your brand in the community to promote our programs on the school's website, through social media, and any other marketing channels available. To create a deep, meaningful partnership, we like to build relationships with all those involved in the operations and marketing of your programs. And with that, I will pass it over to Kevin.
Thank you, Kelly. I want to talk a little bit about what we call ProTrain's approach in providing your school turnkey solutions. It starts with first trying to pick the right types of courses that your students need today. You'll see that we have close to over 400 online self-paced courses, about 3 dozen in classroom, and about 2 dozen live online courses, and that number is growing every day. How do we pick that? Well, we pick that by doing some analysis by looking at what the Department of Labor has told us that each of your states are looking to grow jobs in the next 3 to 5 years. By doing that and aligning the certificate and certification programs with high demand career opportunities in your service area, you're going to be able to affect more students that you can serve. You put that together with affordable student pricing, and you're going to serve more people every day. You're not only going to serve those who are underemployed or unemployed, you're going to help upskill the existing workforce, be it a credential or even things like soft skills, because they're both needed today in the workplace. I think we provide a very unique array of programs and courses that no other vendor offers. There's no other vendor out there that offers all 3 training modalities that we've introduced you here today. We can provide you content that can affect both corporate and group sales, workforce investment funded students, voc rehab students. That includes voc rehab veterans under Chapter 31 disability compensation. The My Career Advancement Account for military spouse programs. We've been involved with that program since it was a beta program all the way back in 2007. And we have close to 80 programs that we can offer military spouses who can afford up to $4,000 a year with that type of entitlement. If you're a small business unit and you need help putting together things for RFPs or grants, we're prepared to roll up our sleeves and help you do that. If there are events or virtual events that we can help in terms of like co-hosting webinars, just like we're doing today, not a problem. We'll roll our sleeves up with you again and help you do that, particularly if it's helping you serve more students and training partners in the area you want to meet. I think we have a well-balanced blend of in-classroom, live and online content that can serve any students, any place across the United States. And overall, I think you're going to hear today that we can provide a better student experience than any other partner you might want to consider today. Next chart, please. This chart depicts a normal student life cycle. Starts with that student who comes to the website, finds a course that they want, and they ask, can they get some more information about that course? Sometimes students might click 3 or 4 courses because they really don't know what they want, but they might want to ask about medical billing and coding, pharmacy tech, and maybe medical admin assistant all at the same time. Well, when those leads come through, our training assessment manager will then contact that student on your behalf. They call them, they will email them, and ask them how can they assist them in helping give them the guidance they need to properly assess what's the best training solution for them today as they get ready to meet their career aspirations. Invariably, every student lead, particularly these days, comes in with a question that looks like, can you tell me about this course, ... and what financial assistance can you have? We understand that times are hard out there, and there's a lot of people who are really doing their very best to make ends meet. But they also realize they need something different in their personal education kit bag to be able to either better self-sustain themselves or to get them and their families to the place that they really need them to be. Being able to provide them affordable financing is something that we will talk to you about further in this presentation. Once that's taken care of, we enroll the student on your behalf. We track their progress. We have trigger points, for example, in online courses. And if a student, say, is 25% along the timeline, but they're still lagging behind that in terms of how much work's been completed, our registrar will call your student and email that student, encouraging them to get caught back up, find out what's causing the delay. If there are any student service support things, we immediately jump on that and help your students get back up and continue to progress. By contacting students on these trigger points, we've actually seen about a 17% higher completion rate for self-paced online students. Our student services, as John Hopkins was talking about before, is world-class. If they have a problem on their computer, something's not playing right, they don't have the wrong Adobe Acrobat Reader, or something's not playing right on their computer, John can help them in a matter of minutes get what's right and get set up and back into their learning program. Sarah Jarman and Jennifer and Tyler can do things like running reports and helping students and do whatever it takes to help not be an impediment, but a support role in their learning environment. When those students have completed, we'll issue a certificate of completion. If you want to issue the certificate, not a problem, you can do that. If you want a co-branded certificate of completion, we'll work with you on that and we'll issue that on your behalf. Whatever you want, we'll be there to support that requirement. Next chart, please. The next couple charts talk typically about the types of courses that have been the most popular for our students across the United States. This first chart shows you, regardless of who paid, regardless of the training modality, the top selling courses that ProTrain has with partners like yourself across the United States. The takeaway here I want you to have is that it's not just medical. It's medical, it's IT, it's business, it's green courses. It's a well-balanced content chart for your students to possibly subscribe to. Next chart, please. These are the most popular self-pay courses. Self-pay is defined by a credit card, plop it down, pay for 100% of it right now. Maybe they want a payment plan. So certain percentage down and over a month, couple months pay, or even a layaway plan, or even a student loan opportunity. All of those we'll tell you about in an upcoming chart. But these are the types of courses that they're asking for. Under the banner of workforce development courses, these are the types of courses across the United States that are being funded with workforce investment opportunity funds. ProTrain is on the ETPLS in our own state for North Carolina, with reciprocity in Virginia. We also do voc rehab in the state of Washington. However, with school partners like yourself, we are doing workforce investment funded training in 38 out of 50 states today. That all goes back to what I said before about picking the right types of courses that align with high demand job careers in your service area. Next chart. For the military spouse, these are the high demand portable job skills, so that no matter where the military spouse starts her program, it doesn't matter if they have to pick up the laptop and move to the next location. Daycare is daycare, bookkeeping is bookkeeping, pharmacy technicians are every place that need prescriptions filled, because every place you go there's a Walgreens and a CVS right across the street. All these courses show you the high demand popular courses that spouses today are now subscribing to. Next chart. At this time, I'm going to be followed by Kirsten Guthrie, who's going to tell you some exciting things that we're doing in the live online instructor-led programs. Kirsten.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about live online. This is becoming the new normal with what's going on in the industry right now. So on the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see everything that we have launched for live online. This means that we have a national schedule out to all of our partners and students that's available for enrollment. Now, what does that mean for you, a national schedule? So typically, if you look at an in-classroom program, you as a partner would have to have 7 students minimum to have a program run. What we do with that national schedule is we allot you with all of our partners nationwide all together so that you can have, say, 1 or 2 from your school, 1 and 2 from another school, and combine them all together. So as long as we hit that 7 minimum, that program will run. which is great for you guys if you're a smaller school. It allows you to have that opportunity to put students into the enrollment. Now, on the right-hand side, this is the really exciting list. This is everything we're currently working on to get out to you and your students here soon. So I'm really excited, and if you see something that's not on the list, please let us know. We're continuing to grow with this list with our partners and future students that are bringing things to us also. Now, on the bottom left-hand side, you're going to see our completion rate. Now, this is across every program we've had up to this point with Live Online. So you'll see that we hold our students accountable to showing up on time, showing up to every class, making sure they're staying attentive to their assignments, and then ultimately passing that course. Then we also line them up to go sit for the national certifications with our courses. But wait, there's more. So we also offer internships with our pharmacy tech program, our medical administrative assistant program, and our MA program. I'm really excited about that opportunity because it allows our students to have this hands-on experience at a facility near them or near you as a school, which is really great with building that community. Now, we do make custom schedules with any of our classes, so please reach out to us if you have any needs in your area that we can help you with. Now, what's the next step after a program is chosen by a student? So I'm going to go over next with the financial options. So the first option that we go over with students is their payment plan. For our online students, we ask that for $1,000 or more of a program retail cost, that 40% is paid up front before they can start the program. Now that 40% can be broken up into a couple different payments if needed for the student, but once that 40% mark has been hit, we start them in the program. The remaining balance is broken up over a course of months, depending on the course period of time. So if it's a 6-month or 12-month program. Now, for the live online and in classroom programs, we ask for a higher percent down, which is the 60% down. Then the remaining balance is broken up to include before the ending date of the program, since those programs are shorter because they're meeting times. The next thing that we have is for any program less than 6 months and $1,000, we offer a layaway program. Now, this program can be broken up in as many payments as their pay cycle needs so that they can feel comfortable with making those payments. Once the full course cost has been met, they will be entered in enrollment. Now, for the payment plan in the layaway option, there is no interest and there's no fees. We do that because we want them to feel that that's not a barrier for them to get into a program. But wait, there's more. I'm so excited. We just started a partnership with Climb Credit. Now, this partnership allows for our students to have one more opportunity to see if they can get that financial loan to pay for their course. They will work directly with Climb Credit. They do not work with ProTrain on the application process or the loan itself. It's all through Climb Credit. They will work through the application process, and us as the partner with Climb Credit will be notified if they are approved. They are allowed to have a co-borrower if they feel like their credit score may not be enough to assist them in getting that loan. Now, I'm going to pass it over to John. Thank you, guys.
And Kirsten, before you pass it over to John, you probably want to talk about the minimum and the maximum, please.
Absolutely. Our minimum is 1,000 and the max with the loan is 5,000.
Thank you very much. And as you all can see that's attending this this live recording and those that will be listening, we're going out of our way to try to help anybody in any way we can working with you to be able to achieve their education to employment goals. So John, I will go to the next slide for you, sir.
Thank you very much, Betty. And thank you, Kirsten. So I wanted to talk to everybody about our instructional design. When you look at our catalog, ProTrain owns over 80% of the courses that are displayed in our catalog. That means that content resides in our own learning management system. The students go to the same place, and there's a consistent feel for everything that they do with their course. We have a team of instructional designers and subject matter experts that are trained to deliver a quality product to students, and we have developed a standardized template for our courses that we've tweaked over 5, 6 years, that we found works best for the students, so that they can look at a course, read from the top to the bottom of the course. Everything is in order in which they need to take everything, and it works out very well for the students. All of our courses use books from leading publishing companies like Pearson, McGraw-Hill, Cengage, F.A. Davis, and Elsevier. We utilize a vendor named VitalSource, and I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with that, but they are a vendor that allows us to deliver an ebook inside of the class to the student, and that's available for a majority of our classes. What that does is that ebook is immediately available to that student without any delay. Once they enroll, they get that ebook. Whereas with physical textbooks, you have to wait for the shipping. You have to wait for the student to get it, and usually that can take up to 10 business days depending on the books. And that's just not something that is conducive to having a good start in your student experience. So with our courses, once they're completed, our courses are checked by the instructional designer and our lead instructional designer, and they use what is called a quality assurance matrix. We do that so that we can quality check our courses and also understand that we followed a checklist, we have made all the marks, and we can absolutely say that this is a quality product that we're delivering. For our courses that we don't own content for, ProTrain works with industry leaders to bring courses into our own registration system. So that means that you have the ability to get other vendors' content through our learning management system for your students to be able to take. With all of that said, and I know Kevin mentioned this earlier, ProTrain has a little over 400 plus courses in our registration system, and that spans many different categories. I know that we've went over this many different times, but there's business, allied health, IT, information security, and the biggest one that we have now are soft skills courses. And those soft skill courses are what are courses that will give your students the basic skills in order to either be able to ace an interview, being able to be a manager or supervisor, being able to do human resources type tasks. So those are very good courses and very popular on our side. Lastly, if you have a course that you need that is not in our catalog, let us know, and we will research that, and if possible, deliver a solution that works for you and your school. Usually it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for us to be able to develop a course after we identify a textbook for that particular course. Now, while I was talking, I did see a question about computer literacy courses. We actually have a set of courses in our catalog, and they're called ICT courses. Those ICT courses are written for students that start in middle school, can be provided to high school students, but they can also be provided to students that do not have a very good computer background. They don't have good software skills. We have courses for that, and we can provide more information about those if you want to reach out for one-on-one consultation. So I just wanted to answer that one while we were talking. So next slide. So what you're looking at on this screen right here is our ProTrain registration system. This system is essentially my baby. I have worked on this the entire time I have been at ProTrain. From probably the first week that I started with ProTrain, this was my first task, build a registration system. So over the past 7 years, we've developed this learning management system, and we made sure that it is built for continuing continuing education by continuing education experts. It's easy to use and it's flexible to fit the needs of any size of continuing education department or business. The registration provides your school a dynamic website that is SEO optimized and ADA compliant. By dynamic, we mean that the majority of the features on the site that you see, like e-commerce or live chat, the courses that are available, they can all be turned on or off at any time. And you have the ability to do that from your school administrative portal. As you can see, we can customize the site for your school. You get your school colors, your logo, and social media links displayed across the site. As mentioned before, the site is easy to maintain. If you can use Microsoft Word, then you can update this site at any time. No previous HTML experience is necessary, and it's already built into the system for you to use. Along with the site, we maintain all of the background items for your site. So you don't have to worry about things like SSL certificates or PCI compliance for e-commerce. We handle all of that. Since the inception of our registration system, we've made just about over 600 plus modifications to the site, many of which are direct requests that we get from our partners, something that they would like to see, something that we can enhance, and we take those to heart, and we want to make sure that this system works for you. So I always tell all of our partners, if you have a suggestion, you can always reach out to me to request new features for our system. And if it's something that we are able to do, we will put it on our development list and we will start researching that to be able to build that into our system for you. Now that said, our registration system, it has the ability to work with other third-party registration systems like Augustsoft and Xenograde and Aceware. These integrations will allow you to pull in those courses to your Augustsoft system or your Xenograde system. You can pull our courses in. Your students can register for those courses through those registration system providers. And we'll get the enrollment information on our side, and then our entire student process begins from enrollment all the way to completion. So the best part about this entire system is we still offer it free of charge to all of our partners. This is something that can save you thousands of dollars if you look into all of the other registration systems available. This is something that we provide to you as a free product in order to help serve your students. And with that, I will pass it over to our Director of Marketing, Stephanie Mason.
And John, this is Betty before Stephanie. I will just say, John, I really appreciate everything that you just said. And we're all just trying during these trying times. We're trying to figure out how to make it work. And so we're very sincere when we're talking to all of you all on this video, and people that will watch it that couldn't come to it because they had something else coming up. But John, what you said was very spot on. We're trying to help people in the continuing education arena, help their students in their service area. And we're here. We're not trying to take advantage. We're here for you. So John, I wanted to thank you for saying that. And Stephanie, I will turn it over to you. And thank you.
Thanks, Betty. Now let's take a look at best practices in marketing. On the last slide, John shared how dynamic our ProTrain sites are. They're not only responsive, but they're search engine optimized and mobile friendly. So they can be viewed from a phone, a tablet, a laptop, or desktop. And as Kelly develops a growth strategy for your area, We'll suggest which marketing resources will help you get the word out using a combination of print, digital, social media, and student emails to promote our courses. Our marketing resources are customizable. They're built in Word, so you can easily add your logo and contact information. And if there's something specific you're needing, you can reach out to myself or Kelly. So we've created student emails for our partners. An alumni list is a fantastic place to start to promote professional development courses for continuing education in your community. We also have social media posts and images you can use and edit. And social media is a great place to let people know about the certifications you're offering. You could even do a free webinar series on course categories like healthcare or technology, or the benefits of certificates and certifications in the workforce. Then post the link for your webinar in your social media channels or a landing page on your school site. ProTrain Connect is our monthly partner newsletter, where we share our hot topics, news, and which courses are new, updated, or retired. Our blog is another content resource partners can take advantage of to market courses to their students. And here are a few examples of our marketing resources you'll find in the ProTrain registration system. Print and digital ads, flyers, banners, student emails, press releases, social media posts and images, and even videos. All of our resources are customizable and available at no charge to our partners. So let's talk about virtual open houses. These are another no-cost opportunity for you to promote to students through your social media, your school site, and student emails. They typically run 30 minutes to an hour, and we're able to answer student questions about job placement, financial assistance, and course content. And after this presentation, you'll be able to view a recorded virtual open house we did with York College from the link on this slide. And with that, I will turn this over to Kelly.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. So the process to partnership is what I'll talk about in this slide. It's actually really quite simple. It begins with a memo of understanding. I think it's important to share that there are no startup fees, there's no maintenance fees, there's no minimum enrollment requirements to partnering. Really the benefits of our partnership, as you have heard from today's presentation, is an expanded catalog to meet the training requirements for in-demand careers and to generate a new revenue stream for your department. Once the MOU is fully executed, you'll connect with me to develop a website with your preferred settings for catalog, student, and registration management. Next, we will set up a partnership kickoff meeting. The purpose of that meeting is to define our partnership goals and create a marketing strategy for reaching these objectives. We'll also set up recurring partnership meetings. We'll have a meeting schedule that we'll develop based on our objectives and how often we need to meet to reach those goals. And we want to be in constant communication so that we're making progress toward those shared goals and we're enrolling students. Our partnership network receives timely and relevant communication from all members of our ProTrain team regarding new course announcements, tech updates, marketing tips, and best practices. And with that, I will pass it back to Betty.
And as you all know, as we're living in our new Zoom world, we have to know when to turn our video on and when to turn it off and mute ourselves, etc. So, and yes, I have to have my granny glasses on. I wanted to tell you all about a wonderful thing that we have had happening, our Continuing Education Training Institute. Oh God, that's a mouthful. So we're going to call it SETI for short. SETI is we were in our 10th year this year of where education to employment meets, where we have sponsors such as CompTIA and Microsoft, PMP, truck driving, you name it. And we've had speakers, sponsors, panelists that have came in person. And just like you guys, March happened and it didn't happen anymore. So we had to figure out how to make it happen. And I think I told you at the beginning of this webinar, failure is not in my vocabulary. So I said, we're going to have this conference. And due to Stephanie, our Director of Marketing, and many people, John Hopkins, our Director of Information Services, Kevin, myself, and others, we made SETI happen. And we normally have about 100 people that come to a hotel because we have always tried to make it a boutique, you know, low number of people so we can all talk to people. So we've been normally having about 100 people in our boutique conference. We had 900 people sign up. Yeah, I did say 900 people. And we had 16 sessions. So if you do the matrix of 900 people times 16 sessions, we had about 3,900 people, you know, that signed up for the different sessions. And it was great. And it was all about how education to employment can meet. And when you get this, you'll be able to read it. I'm putting my glasses on. I mean, we had the mayor of Savannah. I mean, we had people talking about cyber security. Are you new to continuing ed? How to do financing? All the things that all of us face. I mean, before I started ProTrain, like I said, I worked at a major university. And I had the same things that you guys got going on right now. That's why I wanted to form a company where I could work with you and be an extension arm of you. Not trying to tell you what to do at all, trying to help you. So I wanted to let you know about our SETI conference that we had, and that we will be putting it on again, and we will definitely be putting it on again virtually and probably in person. You know, we might do some segments like regional segments. It was wonderful. And as a result of you watching this session, you can click on the link and join our SETI alumni group. A SETI alumni group means the following. Nobody's asking you for a dime. We're asking you for collaboration between each other. Well, I live in this state, and what would you do about this? Oh, I have this problem with WIOA. What would you do about this? It is simply a method to communicate without a dime that's charged to you or your department, where we all can collaborate as human beings. That's all it is. I want the SETI alumni group to be able to say, you know what? We're all working in the same atmosphere, if you will, and we're trying to help each other. I'm not competing with you. I'm trying to help each other. So with that, I will go to our last slide, and I'm going to ask my team to share their screen again, and let's all give you guys a high five for being on the webinar. And that's what I'm asking, is a high five, because then I'm going to ask Kevin to do the Q&A in the chat, because we're here to service you. We're here to be your partner. That's what ProTrain's about. It was built by continuing education for continuing education. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are scared and nervous, and I'm your partner. So we've all shared our screen. We can unshare our screen now. And Kevin, you can go to the Q&A if you will, sir.
I believe you're on mute there, Kevin.
I was. That was my mime imitation. Thanks,
Okay.
John.
So if all ProTrain people will unshare their screen and just let Kevin talk, that's what we want to do, because we're trying to show you all as current partners, potential partners, that we can have classes where we share, unshare, we have communication, etc. So if you're a ProTrain partner, if you're a ProTrain employee, unshare your screen, please. And then Kevin, just share yours.
I'm back. Okay. All right. So please put any questions you have. You can put them either in the Q&A box or in the chat box, and I'll go over those. I want to start by putting a shout out. I didn't mention Oglesby, Illinois. Kimberly, we had to make sure that you got credit for being here, girl. Thanks for being here today. As those questions come in, I'll read them. Got one here. Okay. Kelly, I'll ask you this one. What's the normal time from an MOU being signed to website completed and programs up and running for a new partner?
Yeah, that's a great question. Super appropriate for right now. Really, it depends on the process at the school. Certainly, there's various members of the department that would need to evaluate our document, our memo of understanding, and provided that there is no need to make any changes, no need to omit anything from the document, we can, once it is fully executed, we can work with you to get your site set up, typically within 24 hours. So the process really depends on how quickly your department can move forward in reviewing the business document and having it signed. And once that's done, we can get your site set up very quickly.
Great, Kelly, thank you. Question, can you tell me about your courses, and have you had to run a VPAT or 508 compliance assessment on your courses? John Hopkins, could you answer that, please?
Absolutely. So we have ran a VPAT, and we are very cognizant of 508 compliance in our learning management system along with our registration system sites. If you want our current VPAT, that is found on our corporate website underneath accessibility at the bottom of the site. If you have any more questions about Section 508 and how that feeds into our courses, feel free to reach out and we can have all your questions answered.
Okay, thanks. Great, John. I've got a question. Do we recommend just using Augusoft Lumens or also have a ProTrain website? Great question. Betty, you're probably the most versed at answering this one, so I'm going to throw this your way, ma'am.
And I'm fine with that, Kevin, and thank you. Let me see if I can see who that was from.
That's from Miss Julie.
Hey, Julie. Julie, if you have questions after this, you can contact me directly and I'd be happy to talk with you, as I'm sure that Kelly and Kevin and I would as well. We work with multiple vendors, registration sites, as John had alluded to, Lumens, Aceware, Xenograde. You need to decide for yourself what's working the best for you. With our ProTrain registration system, which I'm extremely proud of, and John, I couldn't be prouder of you if you were my own son, I'll tell you that. Our system rocks, and we can track the online, the in-classroom, the live online, but we do work with the registration systems. You have to make your decision of, is it marketing for you the way you want to? Is it providing the search engine optimization that you want to? Is it doing the social media that you want to? And I realized, because I have been, I worked at a continuing education department and people make decisions that I didn't. So the thing is, are you stuck with it? And if so, can you use our system as another link on your website, create some sexy little language that says, oh, and look at all the rest of the classes that we have. So I think it would probably be warranted that you or anybody else on this call that would like to have a private call about how can I increase my student enrollment, because my university or community colleges has selected a registration system, but yet I might see my registrations going down. I promise you I can help you with that, but I can't make a decision because your school made a decision to use a third-party registration provider. But I promise you I can give you ideas on what you can do to help yourself. Does that make sense? And I'll look in the chat session. Let me put my glasses on, because I got my granny glasses on now. So does that help at all? Because I'd love to talk to you one-on-one. So Julie, does that make sense? Are you still on?
She might be trying to find a way to get in there, but we can contact her offline afterwards, Betty. The only thing I think I'd just emphasize is that these registration systems are that. They're registration systems. They are not marketing systems. They're not
Right.
search engine optimized. And so if you've had any sales or marketing experience whatsoever, you know, you could have the greatest product known to man, but if you can't market it and have search engine optimization off your website to get people, when they start clicking and asking in Google searches and things like that, to come to your website, it's just the greatest stuff that nobody ever knew you were offering. So
Right.
think about that and just think that wouldn't necessarily help out.
You're right, Kevin. And Julie did answer. She said, so can you use both at the same time? Yes, ma'am. You can use both at the same time. You can use the registration system, and you can use the ProTrain registration system as a marketing site only. And that would warrant that we would need to talk to you to make sure that we're all on the same page. But yes, we're all about helping marketing, getting out there and helping people through different payment options and different social media sites. So Julie, if you want to, just contact us one-on-one, because I promise you, I think you'll be surprised. Any other
Right.
questions, Mr. Smith?
Kelly, did you want to say something here? See, you had a comment.
Yeah. Hey, Julie, this is Kelly. You know, I'm happy to work with you individually and share with you what I have discovered are basically 3 primary options that you can choose from as far as how to work with us and offer our different learning modalities. So I'd like to reach out to you privately and see if we could set up a time, and I'll go through all those options with you, what the benefits and limitations are of these options and offering our programs while also using Augusoft.
Right. Great point, Kelly. We were literally on a conversation yesterday with a school who's a current Augusoft user who's exploring some options, and there's a lot of good lessons learned out there that Kelly will be able to relate to you. Okay, as I'm waiting for other questions, let me see one here. Do you have any experience working with schools who get FTE credit for students? Kelly, how about you take a swipe at that one, please?
Absolutely, sure, I'd be happy to. So FTE, if you're not familiar, that is the acronym for full-time equivalency. It is basically a model that many community colleges use. I know in particular North Carolina, the North Carolina Community College System uses the FTE model. when they offer certain types of programs, and it gives them an opportunity to earn money back from the state anytime they run a program using that model. We have been successful in working with a community college in North Carolina for one of our live online programs. It was a farm tech course that we ran last term. And so, yeah, we would certainly be happy to entertain that opportunity with you, learn more about what your needs are, and basically come up with a formula that can make the FTE model work with our programs.
All right, thank you. What are the usual student loan APR interest rates, and what happens if a student defaults on their loan after they start? Let me go to Kirsten on that one.
Awesome, thanks, Kevin. So for our loan option, if they default on a loan, that is specifically through Climb Credit, so their team will work with that student individually to go after those funds. For payment plans and the layaway plan, we have our own accounting team within ProTrain that has had years of experience in this field that will work with getting the student payments. I will tell you on a regular basis, the amount of numbers is very, very low in the sense of not being able to get those funds back.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This one is, we missed your SETI conference. Sounds like it was really great. Any way that we could get copies of those recordings of the sessions and those slides? Betty?
The answer is absolutely yes. We did not charge anybody for our SETI conference.
Right.
So if you will email anyone on this picture that you're seeing, myself, Kevin, Kelly, Kirsten, John, Stephanie, I have no problem sending you the complete 5-day free of charge SETI conference. I think it will help us bond even better together. And you don't need to see all of them, but just look at some of them. I'm looking to have relationships, and I believe that if you're interested in seeing any of them, that you'll find that you found a good partner. So just send an email to any of us and we'll send them to you. Does that sound good, Kevin? Because that's what it means.
Absolutely. Another question here. Can you tell me, do you have the ability to help schools set things up for my CAA or WIOA programs? Either Betty or Kirsten could probably answer that one.
I'd be like, oh my God, but let Kirsten answer it.
Right there. I'm right there with you, Betty. I'm like, yeah, bring it on. No, we work closely with a lot of our schools to enter in programs or even provide you a listing. I am ready to roll up my sleeves and help you guys enter into your ETPL systems yourself. If you would like, I'm right here to help you. We do it with multiple schools right now. We have a broad list of about 40 schools, 40 classes that have been approved in other states. So I know we can do it. Just let us know. And my CAA is very, very dear to my heart myself from my family relation with military. But we are here to help with education plans, walking them through the entire process and getting them that financial aid form and getting them the class. So just let us know. We can help you with that.
Right. The other thing I'd add to that for our viewers is that Kelly has done a great job helping partners look in their service area and do that first analysis of, okay, what jobs are hot in that service area? What are the occupation codes? How does that align to what workforce investment boards are most likely to approve if you start to offer programs? I can tell you, particularly right now with over 40 million unemployed people, when a lot of workforce counselors are able to start seeing more people than just virtual, they are going to be backed up down the hallways to get help and assistance. So I would hope that you would ask some help from us on there. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for, see if we have any other questions here.
And Kevin, I'm just telling you, I mean, while
Okay.
you're looking for questions, I mean, let me just say, I realize we don't have a lot of people on this webinar. I mean, we're doing what everybody else is trying to do. We're trying to help each other. We're trying to bond with each other. So I want to thank every single person that's on this call. If you're looking for a partner that's going to be a partner and it's going to be tried and true, you found them, because I have spent too much time building our reputation to fail during any time. So you need to contact Kelly Edgemal or myself or Kevin Smith. I will be the partner that you want that will not mess you up. We will help you in your department. You know just as well as I do, because I lived in continuing education. If you're not making sales, they may discontinue your department. I want to help you make your department be strong, and I can do that. So I hope that my team has helped you in saying in this video webinar. I want you to know that you got a group of people that's actually really wanting to help you. Let us help you. Reach out to us. I will turn it back over to you, Kevin, to close out. But I want to make sure that our viewers know we're here. We're real people. We showed our face and you saw us, and we're just like you. Back to you, Kevin.
I'm smiling because Betty usually says, if you like me today, it's not changing tomorrow. So you're gonna like me. So if nothing else, folks, I also want to thank you for being on. Everybody that stayed on the entire hour plus time here, and I appreciate that because I know everybody's time is valuable. We're passionate about helping people find their career pathway with the right affordable education. Go around the horn here real quick, see if anybody from the team has anything. John, you wanted to mention something about YouTube videos, sir?
Right. I wanted to just mention when we were talking about SETI, if you go to ProTrain's YouTube page, and in fact, if you just search for the hashtag SETI 2020 in YouTube, that'll take you to all of the SETI videos that we recorded. They're free of charge on our YouTube page.
Great point, John. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay. Ms. Kirsten, anything, closing remarks from you, ma'am?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks, guys. I look forward to working with you guys soon.
Thanks for being on today. Ms. Kelly?
No, I'm good. Thanks again. It was great to be a part of this, and we look forward to working with you.
Miss Stephanie?
I'm good. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks, Steph. Miss Betty, back to you, boss lady, to close out.
I'm going to say to everybody that was a participant and or a speaker, we are just down-earth people and we want to help you. So if you want to be my partner, I want to be your partner, and we'll do our part. And that's all I got to say. I sincerely appreciate you being a part of our webinar today. Thank you very much.